Hello again. Yeah, first of all, thanks for everybody who got onto my live feeds. I will be doing more. That was really an experiment to see if they were going to work, and they did. So I was quite happy. There was a few technical issues last time. We haven't got the best internet coverage here, unfortunately. So, but someone suggested I reset my router, which I did. So, thank you very much for that. I still plan to do an Actor Talks About interviews with a few other people. They're getting back from holidays, so I'll do those. And also, hopefully, a couple more actors talk about themselves. I've got a couple of other people lined up. But what I've wanted to do is be a bit more specific. So what I'm doing, I'm changing these video blogs to sort of go in line with the interview series. And I'm going to call it An Actor Talks About. So these video blogs, whether it be just with myself or with other people in the industry, it's going to be an actor talks about. And that way I can sort of focus on specific things about being an actor, about acting, about life as an actor. I mean, I could do actor talks about breakfast and show you how I make my breakfast, or actor talks about cooking or whatever, or finances. So I'd be interested to see what types of things you'd like to find out about. But today, because I've been doing this with some of the students I've been teaching, it's actors talk about learning lines, right? Now, because it's, if you're learning for a play or a film or a short film, or if you're doing a speech, anything really, like a lot of people, they say they find it really hard to learn lines. And it's a lot like anything. Some people are really good with exams. Some people suck at exams. I used to hate exams. Some people are great with auditions. Some people aren't great with auditions. So I think when it comes to learning lines, it's like a lot of things with, I guess at school too, there are a lot of learning styles, and some people can learn really well one way, and some people aren't so good at learning a certain way. But obviously the main aim, if you're doing acting or, doing a play or anything, is to learn the lines. Now, I was always taught that learning lines is that's part of the foundation. If I go to an audition or anything like that, I mean, it's a little bit different in the States. A lot of times I do cold reads with scripts, but generally, learning the lines is the first thing. It's like a runner putting his shoes on. That's how I see learning lines. It's not even preparation. It's just something that I do as a matter of course. And the reason I think it's so important to really know your lines is that, you want to be open to receiving from the other person. You want to make your choices. You want to personalize what you're doing, work out your objective, your obstacles, all that. There's a whole lot of stuff that you need to have going on. And so the last thing you want to be doing is trying to remember the words. So for me, the foundation of anything before you do anything else is learning lines. I think it's absolutely just critical that you need to have them down, So how do we do it? There were various things. I mean, if I get an audition, if I'm out of time, sometimes I'll record the other person's lines, I just do it on my iPhone, and then I leave a gap for my lines, and then I learn, and I can also, get the timing. The danger, of course, with doing it that way is that you don't want to be too set in a way that you deliver a line. It's all meant to be quite organic. It's all meant to be a natural reaction to things. So you don't want to get too set and say the lines the same way each time. I mean, obviously there's structure and there's beats and all sorts of things that I'll get into another time. But, so that's a danger. So what I was taught, and this comes from Sandra Meisner, is learning by rote. Now, what does that mean? Learning by rote is exactly that. Say if I get a script and I've got, 6 little segments, maybe 2 pages, I write all the lines out, and then quite often I'll just write them, and then I'll read them. And it's like, I was always taught that you need to know your lines like you know the alphabet, just all in one big hit. So some people are good looking, remembering, talking them, like I might get something and I might go, hello, my name is Stephen. I live in Sydney. I used to come from New Zealand. Okay, hello, my name is Stephen. I live in Sydney. I used to come from New Zealand. And then I learn the next part. So it's like I repeat the first line, then I repeat the first 2 lines, then I repeat the next 3 lines, then I repeat all 4 lines, and so on and so forth. If you've got a lot of text, sometimes you can break it into 3 chunks. You can start in the middle, because otherwise you're going to know the start very, very well, and the middle and the end not so well. So sometimes you can do that. So learning by rote I think it's a good thing to try. And that way, I just, at night time, if I'm, trying to learn lines, I'll just write it out 3 times at night. Sometimes I'll have to refer to it because obviously you want to learn it properly. And then I know if I start to get them and I can write them all down and remember them, then they're in my body. I shouldn't have to think about the lines. They'll just be there. So that's where you want to get with learning lines. So learning by rote, and as I say, knowing them like the alphabet. The other important thing if you're doing an audition and if you're trying to find out a bit more about it is to rehearse with someone else. And that's the perfect way to learn your lines because you've got someone else right there and you can start to react. And what you'll find as well as learning lines, a whole lot of new stuff will come out. A whole lot of different choices will come out. You can start to understand the text a lot more. So, that would be the other thing I would recommend. So 3 things. Learning by rote, recording the other lines on a recording device and rehearsing. The other 3 things, really, that's all I do. And as I say, you need to find the way that's going to work with you. You need to find a way, that's really going to resonate with you. Because some people aren't great at writing, some people are better verbal and vice versa. So, everybody has sort of, different literacy needs. And that shouldn't stop you from, being an actor. You find a way that works with you. So there we go. That's my first specific acting lesson. I'd like to do more of these. So this is An Actor Talks About Learning Lines. Next week, I'll think of something else to do. So any suggestions, you want to know anything specific about the acting process, just, drop me a comment on the YouTube channel or, on Twitter or Facebook. I'm also on Pinterest as well. I don't know if I'm that good at that. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, it's very, very wet in Sydney. We've had like about 6 or 7 days constant rain, which we've needed because it's been very hot. We even had massive amounts of hail a little while ago. So yeah, it's been pretty crazy. Weekend's about to start. My rugby team's going to be playing shortly. So yeah, I'm up for an exciting weekend, and it's Pizza Friday. So yay. See you next week. Bye.
Yeah, nah, sweet.